What is highly addictive? I'm talking chocolate chip cookies, and today we're gonna make a brown butter chocolate chip cookie with a little bit of Maldon salt, but you're gonna have to wait till the end because we have a special technique that's gonna take these cookies over the edge. Chocolate chip cookies are something that we all love, whether it's with a glass of milk or sharing with a friend on the front stoop. We're gonna need flour, really good chocolate. I've got these dark chocolate Calais, vanilla, whole eggs and yolks, brown and white sugar, some salt, a little baking soda, and what makes these really special is the Maldon salt that we put on at the end and brown butter.
What are you using brown butter for instead of just regular melted butter?
The brown butter, because when you brown the butter, it brings out this beautiful sort of like nutty, caramelized like flavor. So I like to brown my butter to go in with the cookies. It sort of like gives them just like that extra like nuttiness without adding nuts. Browning the butter, you do it on your stove like in a thick bottom pot, and you want to do it for about like on a medium low because you don't want to scorch it because then it would be ruined. It takes about 5 to 8 minutes, but you will notice you'll see it all of a sudden starting to foam and you'll see those brown flecks, which is basically just the milk solids that are browning. You don't have to use brown butter for this recipe, Doug, but I think it just brings them to the next level of chocolate chip cookie.
You know what I just figured out?
What?
This is pretty awesome. We're matching today, aren't we?
Oh, yes.
Aren't you excited about that?
Woo!
His and hers. All right, let's get started.
Let's do it. First things first, I've let my brown butter cool down because I don't want it to be too hot. I'm gonna put it into my bowl. And I'm gonna add the milk solids into everything with this. If I was making like a fancy sauce at work, I would strain the milk solids because it would be kind of like, it would look dirty.
Because you won't notice those milk solids. They'll just become incorporated into the cookie. They'll just become incorporated.
And I've got my white and my brown sugar. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna whisk with my whisk attachment, my sugar and my butter, and then my eggs. And then I'm gonna flip over to my paddle when I do my dry ingredients. I'm gonna add my 2 whole eggs and 4 yolks into my mixer. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of vanilla. And then I'm gonna mix this on high speed for about 2 to 3 minutes, just until it becomes really nice and silky and puffy and beautiful. And then we'll add our dry ingredients. All right, so I've been whipping this for about 3 minutes, and as you can tell, it's just got this like beautiful, like shiny, fluffy, golden texture. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna put this back on. I'm gonna flip to a paddle, and I'm gonna add my dry ingredients. So I'm gonna add my flour, my baking soda, my salt, and my chocolate chips. Once I've incorporated everything, I like to let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes because everything comes together. What did we say?
Absorbs. Incorporates.
Incorporates. The flour absorbs, so you get a really beautiful, nice dough. So I'm gonna add my flour.
And that's just all-purpose flour.
It's just all-purpose.
Again, this is like a recipe where, you know, you could weigh everything out as well. Like when we do it for the restaurant,
I know at work. You
everything's
guys even
weighed.
Like,
yeah.
weigh out the cookies. Baking soda. And then I'm gonna add some salt. Salt is very important in baking, which people often forget. And I'm just gonna turn this on low, and I'm gonna incorporate it, and then I'm gonna add my chocolate chips. All right, so my flour's just incorporated. I'm gonna scrape down the sides of my bowl, and then I'm gonna add my chocolate chips, and I'm basically just gonna mix it just for like a few seconds, just until they're completely incorporated.
Tell us about your chocolate chips there, because they're not your average, you know, like Chippets or those kind of chocolate chips that you might find in a grocery store.
This is Calais brand, like dark chocolate, which we use at work and which I love to snack on anyways. It just has a really beautiful, rich flavor.
I also find texture is like the way it melts and everything seems just so much nicer.
Yeah, I'd be actually interested to do this recipe with milk chocolate chips because I actually love milk chocolate. So I'm just gonna basically incorporate this. And now that my chocolate chips are incorporated, I'm gonna set this aside for like 10 to 15 minutes until everything sort of, what did we say? What was the word?
Incorporates.
Incorporates or absorbs.
Absorbs.
Absorbs the flour.
Right.
And then we'll get them into the oven. All right, so I've got my baking sheet lined with parchment. I've got my oven preheated at 375. And I like to use my tablespoon to actually measure these out. I know at work we actually weigh them out, but I'm not that fancy when I'm at home. So I'm gonna do 6 cookies, and these are like a tablespoon each. And I'm just gonna sprinkle them with a little bit of Maldon salt before I throw it in the oven. Depending on your oven, like I always say, these take anywhere between like 11 to 13 minutes, and then the magic will happen when we pull them out of the oven. Doug, do you know what it is?
Well, there's a fun trick. I mean, some people may know this trick already, but if you don't, you definitely want to stick around because it is kind of a game changer.
So into my oven, I'm going to put mine in, I think I'm gonna start at 11 because you can always
add, but you can never take away.
All right, here we go. So they're ready. I'm gonna pull them out and watch closely because here comes the trick. All right, my twin.
Yes, this is completely unintentional, but
Did you not see me this morning?
Renee, I don't pay attention to stuff like that.
All right.
But I do feel like this is something that we should do more of, dressing alike.
No.
Come on.
That's a hard no.
Anyway, I can't wait to dig into these.
I'm already doing it.
You know how much I love chocolate chip cookies. They're so good. They're still like soft in the middle. Chocolate is melty. Oh, this is all I want in a cookie.
Is it?
Yes.
And you taste the nuttiness?
The nuttiness of the brown butter, yeah. It's all coming through. The salt on top gives it a little kick of flavor. And you know, as is the case with most things that you make, it's a lot easier than people think. But you can always make it your own too. Like I've talked to people that have put, you know, M&Ms in there or nuts or whatever.
Yeah, this would be like
even.
super awesome with nuts in it.
If you like what you see, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like our videos and leave comments.
All right, Dad, eat the cookies.
Yes, thank you.
See ya.
All right, bye. Have a great week.